This is lesson 75 for Saxon Math 5 Intermediate. What we're looking at today is we are looking at changing improper fractions to whole or mixed numbers. So just a really quick review. This is a common fraction. Its numerator is smaller than the denominator. This is a mixed number. It has a whole number as well as a common fraction. And this is an improper fraction, where the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and then this is a whole number. Okay, so these are all the different things that we'll be looking at: common fractions, mixed numbers, improper fractions, whole number. So when we're looking at that, let's say we have 5 over 5. Now, in a previous lesson, we learned that when your numerator is the same as your denominator, this makes a whole. So this could be 5 over 5, this could be 10 over 10, this could be 100 over 100. All of them make 1 because their numerator is the same as their denominator. When you're looking at converting from an improper fraction to a mixed number, what you're looking at is how many times the denominator goes into the numerator. So let's go back to the one I wrote earlier, 8/3. We're looking at how many times does 3 fit into 8. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. One of the first ways that we've already done in class before is we take 8 and we divide it by 3. Well, 3 goes into 8 not 6 times, twice, which is 6, which leaves me with 2. Now I have 2 remainder. Now we've done previously in lessons where we then change this into a mixed number, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. So the 2 comes up as my remainder, and the 3, my divisor, comes over here and turns into my denominator. So I have 2 and 2/3. So that is the mixed number that this would then change into. And I've done that just using division. Another way to do it, especially when you're working with small numbers, just to get the feel for it, is you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm putting it into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. And then just put them in. 1 into there, 1 into there, 1 into there. Keep going, because we want an equal number in each group. And oh, wait a minute, I only have 2 left, but I have 3 groups, which means I can't put any more in, which leaves me with 2 in each group and 2 remaining that could not fit into 3 groups. Both of those methods work. This method works as long as you're working with small numbers. The bigger the number gets, the harder it is to do this because the more drawing you're going to have to do. And that's when you want to start transitioning over to that division. A third way you could do it if you'd like, same question, third way you could do it is to do adding and subtracting and say, okay, well, I need to fit 3 into 8. So 3 plus 3 equals 6. Well, if I add another 3, I make 9. Well, 9's bigger than 8, so it can't be these ones, so it has to be this one, which means I have 2 3s, and which made 6, and so I'm taking 8 and I'm taking 6 away from it and leaving myself with 2. So I have 2 and 2 left over 3. All of these methods work. It just depends on which one is best for you. And it also depends on how big the numbers are. Because as I said, as the numbers get bigger, you're going to want to transition over to the division method. Now, if you're starting with a mixed number that is also an improper fraction in it, like, for example, if you have 3 and 4/3, okay? Now, this one already has a whole number, which means that when we make a whole number or 2 whole numbers or however much we're going to make out of the fraction, we need to make sure we add that to the whole number we already have. So 3 goes into 4 because I said you need to start transitioning over to the division method. I'm going to use division method. 3 goes into 4 once, which is 3, which leaves me with 1. Okay, and that would be 1 1/3 because my 1 is my numerator and my divisor is now my dividend. Or sorry, my divisor is now my denominator. So this 1/3 needs to be added to this. okay? Because I've now used this. This is what I just worked with, but this 3 wholes is still here. So the 3 wholes need to be added to this whole, which makes 4 and a third. So whenever you're doing these and you already have a whole number, you just need to remember you need to include that whole number in your answer. Last one I want to go over before letting you go is if you have something along the lines of 10 fifths. Okay, now you're trying to fit 5 into 10. Well, again, using the division method, 5 goes into 10 twice, which is 10, means I have 0 remaining. This 0 remaining means I have no remainders. I have no fraction, because a fraction is less than a whole. So I have none of those left. I only have 2, which means I have put this into a whole number. Okay, there is no fraction to go with it. It is just a whole number. All right, so that was lesson 75 for Saxon Math 5 Intermediate.